Hello again, whiskey friends. Welcome back to another edition in the Whiskey Riffs Lounge. I know I look like a baby. I shaved it all off and started over, so hopefully it won't throw you off too bad because it's still throwing me off to see it. So anyway, today we have got a fun one for you guys. We are going to be doing a 13th Colony Showdown. So we've got the tried and true, the double oaked bourbon. If I can get it, there we go. Against their new 15-year release, which looks like this. There we go. 15-year versus their double oak. Let's get this thing kicked off and get into the whiskey. That's the best stuff yet. All right, welcome back. So, guys, we've been talking. There's been a lot of controversy about this particular brand. The guy that I trust the most, which would be Jason C., went and did a pick, his Holy Cannoli pick, which is really good. If you haven't checked that out, or if you were lucky enough to get a bottle, do so. But we wanted to take these LEs and put them against each other and kind of see how they fared. I'm not into the controversy. I believe that they're doing everything right. I do think that there were some mistakes made, but they've corrected them. This does say straight on it, right? So anyway, let's get into the whiskey. In my first glass, I do have the double oaked bourbon. Now, the stats on this guy is going to be, this is batch 524, bottle 2031 or 2131. Proof on it is 136.8. Now, these guys just released in Arkansas this past year, and I've been getting some of their stuff, so let's get into this one. Let's get on the nose. So right up front, all of that brown sugar, buttered, a little bit of fruit up front, but mostly brown sugar and caramel and brown butter. Then you get the oak that comes across behind that. But overall, I mean, this has been a really, really good bottle as far as, people talking bad about it or whatever else. But for me, I want to just talk about the whiskey, and whiskey in the bottle is good. It is a flavor bomb, typically. Now, I've drank a little bit out of this, so let's go back to the nose, and then we'll get into the palate. Yeah, staying pretty true to that oak and caramel and brown sugars. So let's get into this. Cheers. First whiskey of the day. It is after 5 p.m., by the way. Wow. Woo! It's not super hot, but man, that's making my eyes water. It has so much flavor to it. Really, really robust up front with rye spice, oak, and a little bit of sweetness and fruit. The thing that I noticed the most on this is just the continuation of the finish. You get all of that oak, and then all of the sweetness kind of fades in towards the backside of it. It's such a flavor punch up front, though, man. It's crazy. Let's get back to the nose on this and see if there's anything else that comes out. Yeah, pretty consistent on the nose, even after tasting it. All of the same notes that you're getting. I will say that this is still as robust as when I cracked it. I mean, it hasn't lost any of its power, I guess you should say, with that particular bottle. Go back for a second sip. Okay. Oak kind of comes down a little bit. That first sip was, man, it was like, pow, right in the mouth. Oaks kind of come down a little bit. The rye spice, your palate's acclimated a little bit more. Now the oak starts to envelop and spread out across your palate and your tongue. And then that finish just stays on. Man, that's a really good whiskey. This is batch 2, by the way. This is not the first batch. This is batch 2. Came out this year. So let's look at the stats on the new 15-year. So we're looking at batch 555, bottle 2371. Proof on this is 139.2. So just under hazmat at 140. So Really good proof. I think it's within 2 or 3 points of the other one. So let's get on the nose on this guy. Okay, the biggest difference right off the nose is this one is way more fruit forward. It's a little, which surprises me. It has less alcohol vapor on it than the one that's a lower proof. So could be the age, could be the barrel differences and what they used. Most likely it's the age. But yeah, lots of fruit forward. It's a little bit more delicate too on the nose. Getting a little bit more baking spices on this one. A little bit more round, whereas that one's pretty sharp and punchy in the front part of the nose. Let's get into the palate. Cheers, whiskey friends. Oh man. A little bit of tobacco up front. Sweet, fruity. If turkey had a fruit forward like hazmat, this would be the closest thing that I could taste to it. I mean, it's super fruity. All of that rye spice comes in at the last, like it's right on towards the tip of middle and tip of your tongue. Going back into it. Let's get another nosing, see if anything else comes out. Got the fan on in here, so it's a little harder to smell. Yeah, it's staying pretty consistent as far as what the notes are on this one. Okay. Yeah, I like that tobacco note up front. And then the fruit kicks in. A little bit of rye spice, and then the oak comes in. Definitely not as oak forward by any means as the double oak was. Oak is still there, don't get me wrong, but it's not that full-fledged, like punch you in the face type of oak that you get on the double oak. Oh man, that's so good, guys. It's really, really hard to make a call on this one. I think for those of you that do not like as much oak, my buddy Sam doesn't like a lot of oak, but I know you like this one. This is really, really nice. It's got a lot of well-rounded. It's a little bit more complex, a little bit more delicate on the palate, but also you're getting a lot more notes than just your typical flavor punch right up front. I think you get more of that progression of flavor rather than just a smack you in the face with the flavor. So I've been blessed to be able to get both of these at retail, and they're both still very expensive. But I will say, if you missed out on the double oaked and you can find the 15th anniversary, do it, dude. I mean, to me, it's a better, more rounded version of whiskey than they put out in the double oaked. And that's saying a lot because I really like the double oaked. Don't get me wrong on what I'm saying, but I think that the 15-year anniversary wins for me. I think it's just a little bit more well-rounded. I'm going to give them each one more sip. I love that tobacco and oak and berry notes that I get on that thing. Wow. Okay. Last sip. That one's kind of calmed down a little bit after sitting out. Man, all of that rye spice and oak and just flavor punch kicks in right in the mid palate. Woo! It is spicy gal. So for me, my palate, I like both whiskeys, but for my palate, I prefer the 15th anniversary way over the double oaked, and I like both of these very, very much. So kudos to you if you can find them. If you can't, try them at a bar. I mean, these are definitely worth $20, $30 a pour whiskey for that experience. And that would be on any whiskey that you're unsure about whether or not you want to spend the cash. That's the best way to do it. Or if your friend has it, have him, send you a sample of it or whatever else. I may actually put both of these up for one of the super chats coming up next week. And the winner will get both of these and a rye pick. And we'll do it that way. That way you guys can get to taste it, so you guys have a chance. I'll actually do 2 of those. I'll give away 2 of those on Wednesday night next week at 8 o'clock. We're going to celebrate, hopefully, 2,000 subscribers next Wednesday night. We need your help with that. So I'm putting up 2 winners for the Double Oaked and the 15th anniversary and a Holy Cannoli rye pick. So from the same company, from 13 Colony. Well, all 3 are banger bottles. So you guys can get to try it, share the whiskey. That's what it's all about. Make sure that you share the good stuff, because that's the reason we had this wonderful juice, is to share it and enjoy it and make memories. So until next time at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then next Friday following that, you can catch me back here again. We'll leave you with one of my favorite songs. See you, whiskey friends.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these